In the heart of East Texas, where the piney woods stand tall, there's a place that's filled with history, where warm hearts call. From Big Sam to the Bearcats, pride runs deep and strong. In Huntsville, Texas, we sing our song. With love and hospitality, we opened up our doors. In this beautiful town, blessings we explore. Sting 'em hornets, beat 'em up cats, Sound Houston State, where dreams are at. Good morning, Huntsville, we find our way, guided by God's love every single day. From parks and recreation, where children laugh and play, to the historical treasures that take our breath away. In the piney woods, we find peace and rest. Huntsville, Texas, truly blessed. With love and hospitality, we open up our doors. In this beautiful town, blessings we explore. Sting 'em hornets, eat 'em up cats, Sound Houston State, where dreams are at. Good morning, Huntsville, we find our way, guided by God's love every single day. Yeah. In every sunrise, in every prayer, God's grace surrounds us everywhere. Through the highs and the lows, we stand as one. In Huntsville, Texas, His will be done. Sting 'em hornets, eat 'em up cats, Sound Houston State, where dreams are at. Good morning, Huntsville, we find our way, guided by God's love every single day. Sam to the Bearcats, our spirit shines so bright. In Huntsville, Texas, we live by faith, we walk in light. With love and hospitality, we greet the world anew. In this blessed town, our dreams come true. Whoa. In every sunrise, in every prayer, Huntsville, Texas, truly blessed.
Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us.
What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
All right.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Hello, I'm Billy Coppin, Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home.
Hey, it's Kaye Boehning with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools.
Good morning, Huntsville.
Good morning.
Hey, I'm Karen.
I'm Toy. And I'm Denise.
And from all of us at Walker County Federal Credit Union, good morning, Huntsville.
Oh, your little fuzzy's about to come off.
A little fuzzy.
Your little fuzzy. Fuzzy Wuzzy was
Had
a
a-
bear.
was a bear.
Was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy.
Had no hair.
But how was he fuzzy if he had no hair?
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't fuzzy, was he?
Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't a fuzzy bear. Good morning. Welcome
Maybe
in.
it was just growing out after being buzz cut.
Might have been. That's how we're going to start the show this morning with a little, call that a lullaby? Is that what it is? Or a nursery rhyme?
Nursery rhyme.
Nursery rhyme.
I thought it was a tongue twister.
If you say it outside of a nursery, would it be considered a nursery rhyme then?
No. It
You
would
just
be-
take the nursery wherever you go.
Just a rhyme. No rhyme or reason. That we started the show like this morning. But welcome in.
Other than you're in charge.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, it's like, if this would have been me starting, no way. Hey, welcome
Yeah,
in.
you never know. I might have started it totally.
Well, welcome in episode 292 as we get rolling here on a wonderful Wednesday. We appreciate all of you for joining us here on another edition of Good Morning Huntsville. Always our joy and privilege to bring you the show each and every morning. We were just talking. We're going to hit 300 on July the 1st, if the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise. And it seemed...
That's not even funny anymore.
Oh, yeah. I guess...
Yeah, you're going to give people PTSD.
Oh, well, that's my dad's phrase. He always said that.
You know, it's sprinkling, and I'm like,
Yeah, the creeks. Yeah, it may. Yeah, don't want to. I'm definitely not joking about that. Just an old phrase, you know. My dad also said another one. I won't repeat the word that was in it, but he'd also said you may be up some sort of a creek without a paddle.
Yeah, been there. done
Yeah.
there.
So, and I've been up that creek a few times without a paddle, but
Sometimes without a boat.
yeah, sometimes just trying to swim. What are those fish? You know, the fish that the jumping fish.
Salmon.
I'm so ignorant. It is the salmon, right? The jumping salmon. I saw a video this morning, and I guess there was like a water pipe that there was 3 or 4 water pipes, pretty big water, probably like 7-inch pipes, and a lot of water was gushing out of each of these pipes, and it was dumping down into a lower ravine area. But there were salmon in this lower ravine, and they were able to jump, and they were trying to jump up into the pipes, and one of them jumped and got in there and went back up into the pipe. Isn't that pretty cool? Like the strength of those things?
Yeah, I hope there wasn't a pump at the end.
Yeah, may have a little fillet, little salmon fillet coming up, or what is it? Puree? Is that what it is? A little puree
Might be a
salmon?
little puree.
Anyways, welcome in, friends, as we get rolling here on this wonderful Wednesday. We so appreciate you. Do us a favor and let us know that you're out there this morning. Send some comments. Make sure to like and share this broadcast as we get hopping and going here again on a wonderful Wednesday. Big shout out, Paul Oley. Paul,
we love you, Paul.
We love you, Paul.
we love you, buddy. We just love you. I just want to get emotional. We love you, buddy. So went by and saw Paul. I haven't seen Paul in a long time, honestly, because we've been so busy. Of course, I was gone for a week or so, and then we've just been busy with VBS this week. And I do the show, I go over to the church, immediately get started on that, and then I'm not able to get a couple of things for Hello Huntsville done until later on in the day. And then it's like you go home and go to sleep and recharge and do it again the next. Not complaining, it's been fun, but it's been. I was telling y'all before we started, I said, man, I didn't realize VBS was so much work. Like them children go 150,000 miles an hour.
Yes,
We do
they
this
did.
every day.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it, Kaye. Are you at the end of the day, or are you just like, oh. Like, I'm not being negative, but do you just feel like, was it a good, I know it was a good, fulfilling day, but you know those days when you work so hard and you just pass out? Is that what it is, like every day, Kaye?
About 8 o'clock.
Yeah, she conks out about 8 o'clock.
I've noticed a few bruises on your forehead and your cheeks where you're holding the phone and it fell on your face.
No, that'd be this one right here.
Right.
Did
it happen?
I did that the other day. Dropped it right on the corner, right on top of my lip. Hurt. Oh, that hurt.
This is how we're going to start the show with a question today. How many of you at night, and be honest, How many of you at night are on your phone, scrolling, doing whatever you do, and then you just fall asleep? And it hit, and not only that, but you drop the phone. That happens to me almost every night. So I'm just being honest. And
very seldom happens to me.
You drop it on the floor.
I don't drop it on my face.
No, but he didn't say on your face. He said drop your phone.
Oh.
Kaye has the full technical version down of this, Rick. So.
Kaye does this.
Yeah.
And Rick is on his side looking at his.
It happens to me almost every night, and that's a full. Bridget's like, you use your phone too much. Can I tell you guys something? This is nuts. I have no idea what happened, but Facebook started paying me.
Wow.
And it's only been like $20, $30 a month, which is kind of nice. Man, I got a notification yesterday that for May, I got $120. And I'm like, where did this come from? And how do I get more of this? And so now my thing to Bridget is, she's like, you're on your phone. I was like, well, I get paid to be on it now. So I have no idea. It's something called like Facebook bonuses. And I don't know where it comes from because I know our morning show, we don't have... There's not like ads that are attached to our live video on the morning show. But I think what happened was it started giving me recommendations on things to do. Like it gave me goals. This week you should post 5 reels and you should respond to 20 comments. It guides you through different ways to increase engagement. I've been doing that through our Hello Huntsville platform because obviously we want to get more engagement. And we've started to, I don't want to say started, we've continued to see more and more engagement from new people. But it's the neatest thing. And all of a sudden, I get this notification yesterday. I was like, man, I got like $100 extra this month.
Wow.
Great, I get to pay another bill. Yes, I can't wait. So there you go. You ever have that? Like you get all excited, you think, man, I got extra $50. And then you're like, oh, but I got another $50 bill I got to pay.
Well, it's usually I got an extra $50, got a $75 bill.
Yeah, that's what happened. It's like, oh, great, I just paid the interest off, and it's going to reset next month. But
I always find it fascinating how you can be in a pinch like that or something, and then you find $20 in a coat you haven't worn for a while or something, and it's always amazing to me how God makes that provision.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you might, oh, I've got this, and you get the $20 and then you realize, oh, I don't have any gas in my car. It's not like, oh, I can go to, McDonald's and go eat or something like that. You might think that, but then you get in the car and you're like, uh-oh, and how things work out.
We were at church a couple weeks ago. We're there almost every week, but actually 3 weeks ago. And, I try to tithe each month, and I think that's important. And I realized it just hit me. I was like, man, I haven't tithed in the last month. And so I thought of the amount. I was like, okay, well, I try to do it weekly. So it was 4 weeks that, it had been 4 weeks. And I was like, I need to, and literally that 4 week amount, I was like, man, I looked at our bank account and I was like, that's going to be tough. Like that's going to take us like to $5, but I did it out of faith. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Who cares? That's what we're supposed to do. I did, and I kid you not. I absolutely kid you not. I had a gentleman here a couple of weeks ago. It was actually like that next week, right after, come up to me, and it was a new person that's been watching the show, and he goes, I want to make sure that you guys are okay and you're not going anywhere. And do you know he wrote a check for almost that exact same amount that I tithe?
Wow.
And I was like, there you go, man. And here's the thing. You don't do those things to expect to get back. But God's always going to provide a way, and there's a really famous broadcaster on television that is on TNT and TBS. It does a lot of NBA stuff. He's also the voice of a Major League Baseball team in Milwaukee. And I heard a story back in the day. He grew up in the Central Texas area, and I heard of a story back in the day. A friend of mine who is a mentor and broadcasts down in San Antonio in the NBA, he was telling me that he used to pick this guy up because he would do some camera work for Fox Sports Southwest and did sideline reporting for the NBA, for the Spurs. And he said this particular gentleman had said, I haven't been tithing, and I really feel like I need to start tithing. It's something that our pastors talked about, and it's been put on my heart. And he told my mentor, he goes, and I don't think I'm going to get to the next level unless I'm faithful in my tithe. This guy starts tithing, and he attributes this. This is what my mentor said. He attributes this to this day. he starts tithing, and then out of nowhere, hears about this job in the MLB. Guy's never called a major league game. Gets a call from the MLB saying, "Hey, we've heard about you. We want you to come out and try out for." And he became the voice of a major league baseball team. That propelled him now, and I won't say his name because I don't want to give it a talk. I don't know if the story's. It's okay to tell, but I don't want to say names. But all that I will say is this guy is now probably one of the top, at least top 10, maybe top 5 broadcasters in the United States now, and he attributes it to being faithful with his tithe. Isn't that awesome?
If he attributes it to being faithful to his tithe, then he wouldn't mind his name being said.
Brian Anderson. So that's his name, yeah. And that was the story that I was told, and he puts his faith first. And if you go to his Wikipedia page, I mean, it's right. It says right there, he's a I forget how it words it, but he's an outspoken Christian. He's very outspoken about his faith, which is a good thing for someone to be in the media at that role, to be outspoken about their faith. And by the way, he's from my hometown, Georgetown. So it's kind of cool. I didn't know him growing up. I didn't know who he was. My neighbor did. I was friends with Brian. And if you go Google him, Brian is, I guarantee, one of the top 10, probably top 5 broadcasters now in the U.S. And the guy's just unbelievable, phenomenal guy. But that's what my mentor had said, that Brian had attributed, that success because he started tithing. He said, and it's not because of the tithe that was being faithful to the Lord. And, growing up, I'd hear preachers say, well, you got to be faithful in your tithe. And I was like, it's just because y'all get paid. But as I've gotten older, I've understood that. And it's part of being a steward. And my friend Joshua Harrison, y'all probably know of Joshua from the Oak Ridge Disciple House. But Joshua, my number one guy, and I'd posted, he did a prayer at my dad's service. Just absolutely was thankful to have him there. And, but he always says that everything that we have, this isn't ours, it's God's for us to give away. And, whenever he would partner, and he still does, he partners with me on a few things. And I'll say, man, thank you for that. And he'll go, it's not mine, it's God's to give away. And so that's the inspiration this morning, is be a good steward. And I'm not talking about just of your finances. I'm talking about of anything that you have, or even talents that you have. Be a good steward of those. And figure out, how can I use what the Lord has blessed me with to give back and to help others? And I think that's what we're called to do. Steph Valley, I like what she said here. Steph Valley's joining us from Magnolia Kennel this morning. She said, most of the time, the money in the dryer is mine, but I enjoy finding money in the dryer. It is. It's like a little rattle piggy bank, When I do that, I think, oh, great, I left something in there that's important. Have you ever left like a USB drive or a money doesn't, I guess the government's really good about how they manufacture the money, because the money doesn't really get tore up in the dryer. But like receipts and paper do.
Well, it's money's made out of a kind of a cotton.
Yeah, it's not paper.
Have you ever looked at it and like the new versions of it? It has the little tag, and you have to pull it off. It says Hanes, and you got to rip it off just so it doesn't scratch your back.
Really? Had no idea.
The new $20 bills have the Hanes tag on it. You just got to pull the tag.
Do not remove this tag, or you'll be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
That's right. Well, big shout out again. I know we already told Paul we love him. We wouldn't be here without Paul, the gallery, for all of your custom framing, photography, and more. Check him out online or check him out here in person, 1201 University Avenue. And also big shout out to Elliot Herzig.
Right behind that wall.
Right behind the wall. Yeah, this is real brick. I was going to say you could punch through it, but you can't. You probably get hurt pretty bad. But come by, check out Paul, let him know you heard about it here on this program. He's usually there around 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Also, a huge thank you to Elliot Herzig of Elliot's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com for all of your jewelry needs. And a special, huge shout out to our great friends Kaye and Rick Boehning of Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. I always say you guys are the early childhood educational experts here in this community, and I will never stop talking about how much my child loves Tomorrow's Promise, both of my children. But Braylon especially, we went through a phase. Children go through phases, and Kay, you know the psychology behind this. But children go through phases to where, one moment you got everything in a routine, and the next moment they don't want to leave their school, and you can't get them out of there because they're kicking and screaming, which is a good thing. I would rather my child not want to come home versus racing out the door. Please, Daddy, come get me, hurry. It's not that way at Tomorrow's Promise. There's got to be psychology. There's some sort of, rhythm of children, a sinus of children or something about how they go in and out of things. But I don't know how that works.
Well, when you first drop a child off and they've never been like at our center, I tell people it takes a couple of weeks. I mean, if I went and took you to Houston and dropped you off without your cell phone and without your wallet and left you in the middle of the street.
She's done that to me.
I'd go find a church.
Would you be happy about it?
I'd be scared. I'd go run to a church is the first
You know.
place I'd go.
So you wouldn't be happy about it. Well, that's, trying to put it how we would feel as an adult as to how a child feels when you drop them off. Now, when you drop them off, they're met with love and somebody that cares about them and everything. Because like in Houston, you're like, people just walk by you and ignore you.
And that's because it's a big city, yeah.
But, if that happened to you for a couple of weeks, you'd have a routine down as to where you'd find somebody. Like you'd go to the church or the coffee shop or something like that where you could go and say, hey, I need to use your phone or something. But the children, they get attached then to their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that becomes like their second parent. And what gets...
Third parent.
Third parent. Outside the home. And so, what always upsets me is people don't think or realize that their child's attachment to the teacher and the routine and things at the school. And they may get upset because their child's nose didn't get wiped or something like, oh, I'm just going to take them somewhere else. And that really causes problems with children because now they've got to establish trust with a new individual and things. Now, there's times when, after like a couple of weeks, if your child's still not wanting to go to that place, or
there may be something going on.
Because children can tell. Their reactions, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
They are really good at reading people and sensing what's going on with a person. And, they'll come up to you and give you a hug, like, not that I've said anything about my dad, but, just like that they can tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's like your bubble or whatever that you're having, and they'll come up and give you a hug and say they love you or something like that when you're having a little bit of an off day or not feeling as happy as you normally are.
Braylon's gotten into this new phase where it's the sweetest thing, and I know one day it's going to go away, so I'm just eating up every second of it that I can right now. But she'll go, Daddy, like that. It's like she just wants her daddy. She'll go, Daddy, and she's all happy and smiling. And then I'll pick her up, and she gives me a kiss on the cheek. That's our favorite thing to do now. And I'm just like, man, that just melts my heart every single morning. And I know that that's only going to last probably like a year. It's going to,
Yeah.
Then it's going to, then it'll be like, Dad, can leave me alone. That's probably going to happen eventually.
It will.
But it'll come back full circle. So.
Oh, I used to stand on my daddy's feet and put arms around him and have him walk. That was just so much fun to stand on his feet and have him walk. And I would do it even a teenager. I'm sure he didn't appreciate that.
He's like grimacing through all the back pain and get off of me. Oh, I love you, sweetheart. Oh, those are the fun memories, though. And so I'm cherishing every moment of all of that. So, but again, check them out online. Tomorrow'sPromise.info. Appreciate Rick and Kaye, and especially Kaye and the hard work that she does with Tomorrow's Promise. All the staff there is so wonderful. I love every morning because usually I try to get there around the same time. I always see Courtney out there. I wave at her, and all of y'all's staff is so good. When we drop off, Caden loves Miss Abigail. She's so sweet, and I'll be honest with you, like I forget the afternoon girls for some reason. I've never asked their name. Bridget knows them. I'm just like, thank y'all, but they're sweet as well. Everyone over there is always so good. In the mornings, Miss Caitlin with Braylon is so great, and then a lot of times when I pick up in the evenings, Miss Portia's there, and boy, Braylon and them, they're just so wonderful. All the staff. You'll have a young man too, I think, that's the food guy there that that takes the food in the mornings. He's always so nice and says good morning and friendly. Even the Ben E. Keith guy that's the food distributor is so nice. Man, I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, man, I'm doing great. How are you? And I'm like, I love it. Everybody's in a good mood, man. So, and Miss Sasha does a great job. I mean, the whole staff over there is wonderful. So I say all that because if you're looking,
I'm impressed how many people's names you know.
I know quite a bit. Yeah. So but
especially as Lisa must be helping you.
Yeah. Haven't been in a while though, but it helped me early on. So. But I'm going to tell you that it's so great to be around folks who genuinely care about what they do. And you can tell when some people it's just a job. And I know that y'all have probably had employees over the years that it's just a job. And those employees don't last very long. I'm not saying that negatively. But you truly have to find joy where you're at. And if you can't find joy where you're at, and this is some more encouragement and inspiration this morning, if you're in a position to where you can't find joy where you're at, you know what? Get out of it. Go. It doesn't do you any good, and it doesn't do the people around you any good. Get to a place to where you find joy, you have a purpose, where you feel like you have a purpose, and go for it. How many times? And I know we get in this mundane routine. And I've been in it before, and I got out of it. But it's like you got to go do this because you got to make money because you got to pay a bill. And I've changed that attitude from I got to that it's a privilege to. It's a privilege to be able to pay a bill. It's even though I don't like to, it's still a privilege.
Well, you got something usually in order to get that bill.
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's a privilege. It's a privilege I don't like.
You had electricity, so you got to pay the electric bill.
It's a privilege to have it. Really is.
And you realize
in
that.
Elkins Lake especially.
I was going to say, and now you realize the privilege of having electricity.
100%. Yeah. Our neighbor, and y'all have been so generous too. Y'all said, hey, if y'all need to come over, our neighbor's like, run a cord from our house. Every time the power goes out over there, all I hear, it sounds like NASA getting ready to launch rockets. All you hear is like every single house, except ours, has a Generac generator. Can I tell you something real quick? That just, it was the kind of man that my dad was. And as I was going through his phone, a week ago or so, because we had to download pictures and all that, my dad knew that my dad was always wanting to help. That was one thing. He always helped everybody. Didn't care who it was. He always wanted to try to help people. And he had Amazon on there, and I wasn't trying to pry into any of his personal stuff, but we had to get things off the phone. There was nothing in there that everything that was on my dad's phone was exactly what I would have expected. It was pictures of us and our family and messages, text messages. Hey, I love you. Thank you. That's all it was. And his Amazon app was there, and the way that he saved notes was he would text himself. It was kind of a smart idea, for my dad. My dad was pretty technologically advanced, for someone being 78. He had a TikTok, for crying out loud. Like, what 78-year-old retired military veteran has a TikTok, My dad did. I don't know if he ever used it. He had a Snapchat, even created his own avatar, like his own little picture. It's like, Dad, this is pretty legit. And he used it. He was on there. But I found through that text message where he texted himself, I found a link and information about Generac home generators. And I guarantee he was thinking of us because we had just got off the phone, during all that power outage. I said, yeah, our power's out. And I don't know. He's like, well, you need to get you one of them home generators. And he was researching generators. And I know that he was doing that for us. And that just that warmed my heart because I'm sitting there thinking like, my dad had no idea that in a week he wouldn't be on this earth anymore. Yet he's sitting there and he's searching and trying to help us still in those final days. He was thinking about his family all the time, and man, I'll just never forget that stuff. So that's where I'm going with that. Thinking about what can you do to help others, and there's so many opportunities every day. There's a guy that walks by here all the time, and really really nice guy, and I've tried to help him. In the situation that he's been in the situation for a few years. And, your heart wants to get people help right away, but it's not our timing, it's God's timing. But all you can do is love on people. And he walks by here almost every single day. And I've talked to him numerous times. And, the other day he was just sitting out here and he never asked for much. Every once in a while he'll ask for money. Every great once in a while. And I told him when I first came back to Huntsville, I saw him. That's where I got to know him. I told him, I said, man, look, I got $5 in my wallet. That's all I got. And I'm going to give it to you. But I said, if I find out that you've spent that $5 on alcohol, I said, I will never give you another dime. He's like, all right, man, I promise. And so I saw him, the next day. I said, where'd you spend that $5? I just wanted to get something to eat. And I was like, all right, man, I'm going to keep my eyes on you, man. And so because of that, we've developed a trust that he knows that if he does ask me for money, that I will still, if I have it, I'm going to give him a few bucks. I don't mind doing that. But he knows that if he spends that money, he's got the conviction of the fire of the Holy Spirit in him now, that if he spends that money on booze, he ain't getting no more money from me. But I just saw him. I gave him a hug the other day. That's what I'm getting at. Just hug on people and love them. You don't have to go to the ends of the earth sometimes to make a difference. Just hug on people and love them where they're at and allow God to move.
That's the thing, allow God to move. Because like Joseph, his brothers sold him or put him in the pit. His oldest brother knew it would kill his father. and he was going to go back and get him out of the pit and bring him back home. Well, he got prevented from doing that, which led for Joseph going to Egypt. And then Potiphar's wife, I'm sure Potiphar knew what kind of wife he had, but he still wouldn't put him in prison, which allowed him to meet the king's servants and then get out and then be the next, the Pharaoh's helper, and then was able to put off plan for the famine and then help his family in return. But if he had been rescued, so you have to know what, sometimes God makes us go through things in order to have that final path.
And your heart, it's good, Kay, because your heart is someone who wants to help. You want to, you want that person to be off the street right then. You want to get them into a place that's going to love on them and help them. But that's not always the case, and it's a process. And I'm going to have Joshua Harris back on the show sometime to talk about that process, because he's 19 years sober now. But that could have very well been him to this day. And it was because somebody reached out years ago and told him, hey, man, Jesus loves you.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is on all of our books we send out. And
on Josh's darkest days, 3 days into a hotel trying to end his life, he...
Look at the fine print.
Oh, yeah, even on the candy. Yeah, Jesus loves you. I love that. And even on, not candy today, pickles today. We'll talk about this in a minute. But even though on Josh's darkest days, 3 days in a hotel saying, I'm done, I can't do it anymore, it goes back to that pastor friend of his from years ago that told him that Jesus loved him.
Planted the seed. And on the third day of Joshua being in that hotel room trying to end his life, that seed started to grow. And he said, there's more to it than this. I need to call up that pastor that told me that there's a God who loves me. And that was years ago. Yeah, but he had to go through the trials.
All that. Yep.
Interesting that it's the third day.
Yeah. And ends up in Colorado City, Texas, or Denver City, Texas, and the rest is, the rest is history. Now making an impact on hundreds of other men suffering from the same things. So the whole point of me talking about all that is, don't feel like you have to change the world immediately. Don't even feel like you have to change the world at all, because we can't. We can do things, but we've got to allow God to work. And that seed that pastor had planted in Joshua years later would result in now 19 years of sobriety. And that's what I think about when I see John out here, man. And I just go up and give him. I said that I want to pick him up and take him to Oak Ridge, And I've offered it to him. I said, I got a place. And he goes, man, I'm not ready for that. That's okay. And that's good, because Joshua does not want guys who aren't ready for it, because they're going to come in and it's going to ruin it for the guys who are ready for it. But all you can keep doing is planting the seed and loving on people and just saying, look, man, I don't know what you're going through, but God knows what you're going through. And just approach it that way. And it's amazing to see how the good Lord works and how things will happen. So that's what I'm getting at. Just love on people. That's all you got to do. Rick loves on people, man. Rick's a good guy.
I do occasionally.
You got a new Velcro on today.
Yeah.
What do you got for us today, Rick?
It says 0 degree. Ta-da.
How many of those do you have? Not the 0 degree, but how many little
Velcro?
Velcro?
50.
15 or 50?
50.
Where do you get them at? Do you custom make any of them? Do you get them on Amazon? I know this one's custom made.
I get them from a company called Pull Patch.
And you can do whatever you want on them.
Yeah.
I need to get you know what? I need to invest in a Hello Huntsville or a Good Morning Huntsville one for your hat.
Yeah, they weren't that expensive.
So this is, when we have Terry Coleman on the show, she wears a different piece of jewelry. She comes on once a month. Rick now has a different patch on his hat.
That's right.
Kay, we got to figure out something for you. We got to have something every day. Well, you do. You have Wednesday Wisdom. But we got to find something. We have to do something.
We have our matching shirts.
You have the matching shirts, but we have to do something that's like.
Actually, I'm thinking my shirt needs to have Tomorrow's Promise and 0 degree.
We got to do something that's like some sort of a pin or something that no one would recognize right away, and then we can start. I don't know. We'll think of something, Kay. But
are you saying I'm not unique enough in my own right?
Kind of, yeah. I just didn't know. I just didn't know how to word it in a way that wouldn't hurt you. No, I'm just kidding, Kay.
You mean weird?
I asked my dad why he put an E on the end of my name. Because it's Kaye.
Kaye?
Yeah. Stop it.
No, I'm just kidding.
And he said, well, we wanted you to be unique. And I'm like, you didn't think that through very well, did you? Because you got unique.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years ago, I took her back to Oklahoma and asked if the warranty was still good. He told me no.
Gosh. I never thought about that, Kaye. I just thought now I'm going to start having the Kaye every time I see it.
I like that.
But that was the joy that when Rick first met you, it wasn't just like Kaye. It was Kaye. He was excited. So see, it's worked out, right?
I had never thought of saying it that way.
Yeah, so now it's going to be stuck for a few weeks.
If you take the K off, it's I. Aye.
It's not it's I. Oh, well, thanks for being a good spirit, Kaye, and letting us have some fun this morning. Hey, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, I want to talk about a very important day. Today is Juneteenth, and many institutions, federal institutions, are closed because now federal holiday since 2021. So I want to highlight the importance of this day and Juneteenth, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit when we take a break. And also some really cool things happening in Kaye's life that I saw on social media that I wanted to highlight as well. Do you have any inkling of what that may be, Kaye? Something pretty cool that you got to do.
Several different things.
Well,
it's been a busy couple of weeks.
Something that you're doing, as we talked about, serving and giving back to others, something that I saw that's you're serving and giving back to others. So we'll talk about that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll give you a hint.
I have an idea.
I'll give you a hint during the commercial break.
I have an idea.
So we'll take a quick break. Let us know that you're out there. A lot of folks interacting with us this morning. Continue to send in those comments. Let us know that you're out there. And nobody, though, commented about the cell phone. Here's the question of the day. Every day we try to have a question of the day now. The question of the day today is, do you fall asleep in bed with your cell phone, or are you on your cell phone as you fall asleep, and do you drop it? Does it hit you in the head? Do you drop it on the bed, in the floor? Let us know your thoughts about how you approach that each night. And how is it, some people, well, you shouldn't be on your screen. How is that any different than all them old movies in the 70s and 80s where the husband and wife are reading a newspaper?
Because the blue light affects your sleep pattern.
But you're still reading stuff.
No, but if you're reading the newspaper or a book, you're not getting that blue light. And the blue light interferes with your circadian rhythm, which interferes with your sleep.
Cicada.
Circadian.
That's
not it, Rob.
It affects your rhythm.
Kind of reminds me of water sprinkler.
All right, well, send in those comments and let us know. Hey, $20 coming your way today. We'll give away $20, and all you got to do is text in the keyword. Look at that. What is that keyword? It's Rose.
Oh, that's my mom's name.
It is.
Rose. Isn't there a drink called like rosé? Is that like?
Well, it's a kind of wine.
Yeah. So there was a rap song that say, what was it? It was something about. It was like, girls used to. No, it was rosé keep me busy, like busy. Rosé keep me busy. Girls used to diss me. Now they write letters because they miss me. So when I see Rose, I think of rosé. Rose is the keyword, along with your name, on the 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. That number, 936-339-0139. We got $20 coming your way today. Jennifer, if you're watching or listening, I don't know if you made it by the church yesterday, but yes, we do have your prize up there in that Cafe Texan gift card. Again, Rose, along with your name, 0 Degree Creations phone and text line at 936-339-0139. Text that in. As always, our Wonderful Wednesday is brought to you by Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, over 25 years of excellence here in our community. We'll take a brief break. We'll have a listen at your national news. We'll be right back after that. Stay with us. More to come. It's Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News. I'm Ryan Daniels. The rules for the upcoming debate between President Biden and former President Trump are now set. CNN announced Sunday both candidates have agreed to appear at a uniform podium with their positions determined by a coin flip. Microphones will be turned off during the 90-minute debate, except when it is each candidate's turn to speak. There will also be no studio audience. Neither candidate can bring notes with them, but they can have one pen and a pad of paper. The debate happens June 27th in Atlanta. Negotiators are continuing to work on a peace deal between Israel and Hamas. USA's Tim Berg with the story.
Talks are ongoing with mediators trying to agree to a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. This week, Hamas responded to a proposal by President Biden, but Israel says the response was equivalent to a rejection. Connecticut Democratic Senator Jim Hines joins Fox News Sunday.
We saw 8 Israeli soldiers die yesterday. This is a war that is taking a huge toll on both sides. And, you know, it's always a good idea to maintain negotiations.
All across the Northeast, the National Weather Service is warning of a multiple days long heat wave for this week, starting on Monday. They're warning everyone to keep an eye on young people and vulnerable older adults who could experience negative health impacts from the heat. And of course, they tell everyone to make sure drink plenty of water and, if possible, to limit time outdoors. Crowds cheer as Britain's Princess Kate made her first public appearance since providing an update on her cancer treatment. She was seen arriving by carriage to attend Saturday's Trooping the Colour Parade in London to mark King Charles' birthday. This is USA News.
Omaha Steaks is rewriting the book on burgers with an all-new handmade texture for the juiciest home-style burgers you've ever tasted. Their pure ground burgers are made from single cuts of real aged Omaha steaks. These are truly steaks on a bun. Filet mignon, ribeye, New York strip, sirloin, and even brisket burgers. Now is the time to experience the exclusive Burger Perfection Flight for just $79.99. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code TREAT at checkout to get an extra $20 off your order plus free shipping. You'll get 4 of each pure ground burger so you can sample all the steak on a bun greatness. These burgers are crafted for a juicier, more tender experience, making your mouth water with every single bite. Don't wait. Go to omahasteaks.com. Use promo code TREAT at checkout and get $20 off the Burger Perfection Flight and discover your new burger obsession.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce our 3rd location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tpms.live for more information. Education you can trust.
Hi, I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your 4-legged family members.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
All right, friends, back at it now. Time 8:12. You had to be at work at 8 o'clock. You don't have a job. Kaye, y'all hiring?
We are.
No, but you don't want people that ain't going to be there on time.
That's right.
Man, what time do y'all open? Is it like 6?
5:30.
Goodness.
Well, different locations open at different times.
Yes. But you have to because some people go to
5? Is it 5:30 or 5?
We open at 5.
5.
At the main location.
Well, some people go to you got to be there because some people go to work really early, so it's really good. Hey, I wanted to highlight today, a really important day. Welcome back, by the way. We are here with Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools for all of your child care excellence here in Huntsville. Please visit Kaye Boehning and her great staff over at Tomorrow's Promise online, tomorrowspromise.info. I wanted to talk this morning briefly about Juneteenth, very important day for so many here in our country. It's also known as Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, and Liberation Day. This commemorates the emancipation of enslaved African Americans. The name Juneteenth is a blend of June and the 19th, which is today. It marks the date in 1865 when Union General Gordon Granger arrived, just right down the road in Galveston, Texas, and announced the end of slavery. This was 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed by none other than the great President Abraham Lincoln. A few facts here that we pulled together, and we get content delivered to us for our morning show through a group called Radio Production. And here's some of the things that they sent earlier this morning that said some key facts, a little historical context. While the Emancipation Proclamation was signed on January the 1st, 1863, it wasn't until a couple of years later, June the 19th, 1865, that all enslaved people in Texas were freed. This delay was due to the slow spread of information and the resistance of some slave owners. The second historical context is a celebration of freedom about this day. Juneteenth has been celebrated now for over 150 years with various traditions, including public readings of the Emancipation Proclamation, singing traditional songs, such as, and I didn't realize this till I started reading into this, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Used to sing that song a lot. And Lift Every Voice and Sing, and enjoying delicious barbecue and other Southern foods. I missed the parade. We had a parade. I thought it was going to be on Juneteenth. But it was this weekend. And that's one of the neatest parades. If you've never been to a Huntsville Juneteenth parade, you need to be a part of that. It is just so cool. And I say all that, I wasn't here for this one, but when Bridget and I first moved back last year, we didn't know there was one going on then either. And all of a sudden, we just see a parade going. And we stopped and got out. I actually took some pictures and video of it. I was like, this is incredible. This is so great that we have this here. In national recognition, Juneteenth was first recognized as a state holiday in Texas back in 1980. But then it wasn't until June 2021 that it became a federal holiday in the U.S., acknowledging the importance of this day in American history. There's some symbols of Juneteenth as well. The Juneteenth flag, created in 1997, it's red, white, and blue, symbolizes the American flag and represents the formerly enslaved people, and their descendants are Americans. The star in the middle of that represents Texas, where the last enslaved people were freed. And as we celebrate this day, let's reflect on the journey towards freedom and equality to honor the strength and those who fought for these ideals. Very important day as we celebrate Juneteenth. And now because of that federal declaration a few years ago, places like banks, a lot of them are closed today.
It's first year.
All of them are.
First year the banks are closed.
So, yeah, they're closing for the first time. But, yeah, I wanted to highlight that today. And I know such an important day and many friends here today celebrating Juneteenth. And we wanted to make sure that we honored as well here on the show. So,
the first celebration took place in Galveston.
That's pretty cool to think about. It's just how Galveston's 2 hours from here? Would you say 2 hours? That's about right.
Pretty close to 2 hours.
2 hours, not too bad then. You know, it's funny.
We live at exit 112, and that's 112 miles from Galveston.
Because it's right at there. You know, it's weird. Like as long as we've been here in Huntsville now, we've never went to the coast. I mean, I've been before, but it's like the coast is just right down the road.
It's not very far.
No.
And if you go take the ferry, it's free, and you can see dolphins.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, we need to make a day of this. Bridget and I we stumbled upon the Kemah Boardwalk one time, and that place is really cool, but
it's expensive though.
Yeah, it's it's one and done on my wallet.
Yeah.
So,
we went to
fun.
the aquarium there once, and that was pretty high dollar.
Some other things that are going on here in our community. One very important event coming up here, and it's going to be right around the corner, is Lasso Your Imagination. Kaye, can you tell us how things are going and kind of some of the preparation going in? A lot of new things coming this year with a car show and vendors and all sorts of things. Let us know about the
We're
details.
calling the whole thing Unleash Your Imagination. It's fundraising events because we're going to have Jump Into Your Imagination, which is going to be inflatables. There's going to be at least 10 inflatables out there, some face painting, and we're still working out some more things for the kids zone. Yes, I said kids zone. And then in honor of my daddy, because he was so into cars, we're going to have Rev Up Your Imagination. And we're going to have a car show out there. And Jeeps and motorcycles, anything with wheels can be entered. Dad was all about if it had wheels and a motor, he was interested in it. And then that evening, we're going to have Lasso Your Imagination. That'll be the third year for it. And we have tables available for purchase. We have individual tickets available for purchase. Still looking for
vendors?
Auction items to donate. Silent auction. We're having a live auction. We're having a dessert auction. We're still signing vendors up. I mean,
It's
a lot of this is just
$50 for vendors, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
a lot of
not
this
bad.
just happened in the last couple of weeks where we decided we're going to do the car show and the moonwalks and things like that. So, I mean, we're just getting started with the planning on all of that.
Awesome. Well, that's
And
coming up.
Actually, we have a planning session tonight at 6 p.m. at the third location on Academy.
Wonderful. This event is
on Veterans Memorial.
Yeah.
At Academy on Veterans Memorial.
Yeah, not the sporting goods
Yeah,
store.
don't show up to Academy being like, we're here.
Well, we call Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Academy. We call it Academy, and we call it Tomorrow's Promise Children's House, and then we have the main campus. So we have our own short nicknames for them, but when I say Academy, sometimes it gets confused with Academy, the sporting goods store. So no, we're not going to be at the sporting goods store.
If you don't hear Kaye, sports and outdoors, the right stuff, the right price, then it's not that place.
No.
So September the 14th, 2024, you can go to unleashyourimaginationorg.
And it's actually 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
9 to 3. Okay, so 9 to 3 is when everything's happening for the events. And go to the website, unleashyourimaginationorg today. And I've got that up on the screen to find out more information. If you want to be a vendor, it's only $50 to be a vendor. I mean, what a great contribution to support Tomorrow's Promise and the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. It's an opportunity to give back to over 1,000 children that are receiving books each month now, which is
It's
unbelievable.
actually 1,027 as of yesterday.
It's always like that.
We had 7 sign up yesterday, and one of them had been just born on the 15th.
Wow, awesome.
So we had a 2-day-old baby sign up yesterday because our partnership with the hospital, we actually had proof yesterday when we were looking.
Man, that is great. Well, more information online, unleashyourimaginationorg. And again, that is where you can get more information and be a part of this great event that's coming up. And Kaye, I should have that hand, foot, and mouth bug already in my system, so that probably won't be happening this year. So
Actually, I think I'm going to come dip you about a month before in a germy cesspool or something so that you'll be completely well over anything that you might get.
make sure that it's soaked. I think finally...
And then put you in a bubble.
We've been pretty... I don't want to say anything. Never mind. We're doing good the past couple of months. So I wanted to highlight something else today. Let me say one other thing. I didn't even talk to you about it during the commercial break, but you know what it is. Kaye Boehning is all about giving back and helping out. And I wanted to say how awesome and congratulations for you working with the SBDC. And you were down in the Houston area, I believe, helping to train other people who may be interested in opening up childcare facilities. Can you tell us a little bit about that honor that you had? That was pretty incredible.
So I've been invited. This is the second time now. So apparently I didn't do too bad the first time. But I was invited to go down there and to give 45-minute speech on how to open your own childcare. I mean, they talk the licensing part and things like that, and I called my speech "Opening Your Own Childcare: The Good, Bad, and Downright Ugly."
It's a new group.
So, but nobody ever thinks about, what's your time commitment for this? What if you want to start your center because you want to be with your children? What happens when your children become teenagers and they don't want to go anymore? There's things. What happens if there's a pandemic? What happen? And so a lot of this was presenting those questions that they need to think about and need to have answers for. And, are you creating a job for yourself? Or are you creating a career? Or are you creating a business? And so these are things that you need to think about before you open a child care center, but also before you open any business. And, got to realize that right off the starting gate, you're not going to make money. You know that. It takes a while to pay those bills and stuff, so you're going to have some reserves. And so I talked for about 45 minutes and then opened it up for questions and was still there about 45 minutes after that. And they said that they got a lot of good positive feedback on what I had to say, and I think I'll be doing it again.
That's wonderful.
Decide to do it. There's 20 people there that day.
Wow.
So.
Well, that's why it's important, again, and I always look at businesses that don't succeed versus businesses that do succeed, and I'm not saying this in a negative way about any business that's failed, and maybe you have tried to do this, but a lot of times, if you're not involved in your community and you don't find ways to give back, your business isn't going to succeed. That's just what I've always said. Now, you could do those things and you could still have a business that doesn't succeed, but you've got a much higher probability of being successful when your business has a commitment to give back, and whether that's sharing knowledge and information or being involved in a local chamber or Rotary clubs and those kind of things. But you have to give back. And if you can't give back financially, you can give back through your time. And, some business owners say, well, man, I don't have time. Well, number one, you can't make time, but you can schedule time. And I've learned that. Like yesterday, I had to be at our WCRC meeting. I hadn't been in a while, and I needed to make sure that my attendance was okay. And I'm sitting there thinking, I have so much going on. There's no way I can get there. Well, I had 4 young people helping me at the church, and they know how to run cameras and do what I need done. So I just said, hey, I got to leave at noon. Even we wrap up at 12:15, but I got to be out of here probably 11:30. Can y'all finish up for me? And they said, absolutely. And they did. And they did a great job. So again, it's scheduling, prioritizing, and those kind of things. And I'm so glad that you're able to share that with other people in the industry to help them be successful in their business. Just don't open up in Huntsville. That's the only thing we ask. Did you throw that disclaimer in there, Kaye?
No, when I opened almost 27 years ago, I was doing some research asking, if there was a need for another child care center and things like that. And what I was told then is there's always a need for a good quality child care center. There are too many daycares out. That was what they told me. And I was like, oh, okay. So, my thought is, if I open a good quality child care center, then yeah, there's room for me. But there are way too many daycares out there. And daycares they've got TVs in the classroom. They're just sitting the children in front of the class, in front of the TV. They're not teaching them.
Like this.
That's the way I sit now.
A daycare is what you take your dog to and your grandma to. You expect them to come home safe and alive, but you're not expecting them to learn a new trick or learn something. And we should not do that to our children. 90% of what we learn, or our brain development, happens by the age of 5. So there are sadly way too many daycares out there that are only keeping them alive, and they're not teaching them. And there are some in Huntsville that are daycares. They may call themselves something else, but there are some in Huntsville that are parking their children in front of TVs and are not teaching them.
They need to be taught. That's so important. That's why we have our children over there. When you were at Tomorrow's Promises, when you're telling that story, I'm not being mean, and please don't take offense to this, anybody, but I'm saying, look what Grandma learned today. She learned to sit. That's something that Rick and I would get pretty well. That's our kind of humor.
Yeah.
So. Look,
I've already thought of a dozen things.
You were sitting there thinking, yeah.
And that's one of the things I said in my speech when I was telling the new people, if you're going to open a daycare, please don't.
Yeah.
Just don't do it. So open it. Be where you're going to teach the children.
Kaye cares. She's passionate. Tomorrow's Promise.info for all the information. And ask me about anybody out there. If you ever have any questions, ask me about my firsthand experience. I'll tell you all about it. And I'll tell you about even some of the difficult things that I had to learn and work through. And it was on our part, like not getting the food correct. And that was on us, not you guys. So I'll tell you everything. And and we love that our children are there because their staff does such a great job. So I want to try something. We just have a couple more minutes here, then we got to get over to our 0 Degree phone line. Rick it's no longer just freeze-dried candy. That's why it's called 0 Degree Creations, because we got a little fried pickle. Rick, now have you taken a bite of these?
Yes, I have.
Do you taste all of your creations?
No.
All right.
I have staff over Tomorrow's Promise that does that.
Here we go. Not bad. You're
Like the
right. A
pickle?
little salty.
A little salty.
But I'm a little salty, so it's okay.
It kind of blends right in.
Man, these are good, Rick. How long did it take?
Those took about 120 hours.
Look, it's got a little powder coming off of them.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Oh, man, that's good.
Those are dill pickles.
This is really good.
Yeah. I tried olives. I tried banana peppers. I tried hot pickles. I really like the hot pickles.
These are a little salty, though.
They are salty.
But so is a pickle.
Yeah, you take all the moisture out of a pickle, you got salt and
But
pickle.
these are really good. You know,
They kind of melt in your mouth.
I'm continuing to eat them because they're pretty good. We're going to take an hour break. We'll be back in a moment.
I don't think it'll take you an hour to get two of those.
We're going to give away the rest of these. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Rick.
You're welcome.
I'll be snacking on these today. 0 Degree Creations, freeze-dried pickles.
Dill pickles.
Dill pickles. Not regular pickles, just dill. Straight up dill pickles. All right, let's head over. Those are good, though. Thank you, my friend.
We have our Wednesday wisdom too, don't forget.
Let's hear it real quick before we go to the phone line. Because you're going to be happy. We're actually going to get out of here early today, too, okay? Or regular time.
I don't know. You might talk afterwards.
Wow.
No, I got to be at the church at 8:45, so definitely not.
Okay. And this just happened, I believe, yesterday or the day before. A grandmother picked up her grandchild from, I think it was a child care center or something. Anyway, or church. She went through the drive-through and went home. And then they couldn't find the child.
Oh, no.
And the uncle went and found the child in the car. And
Was it too late?
it was too late.
Oh, no. Where was this at?
I don't
wasn't
remember
here?
the town, no.
Oh,
But we've had 7 deaths so far this year in the last few weeks from children being left in cars. And it happens to everybody. It's happened to police officers, it's happened to teachers, it's happened to doctors, it's happened to nurses, it's happened to the average person. But when you have a child that you're putting in the car seat, and they backward face, so you're not necessarily going to see them when you get out, put something in the back seat that you're going to miss, whether it's your purse, your wallet, your phone. Something you always grab and make sure that you get out of that car with. When you can't find that phone and realize it's missing, you realize it's in the back seat of the car, and you'll get the child.
Yeah, I don't judge anybody on that, Kay, because it's easy before I was a parent to say, how could people do that? And I don't judge people because now that I'm a parent, like I'm very observant of, and thanks to Jason, Guardian Defense, he's taught me a lot to be observant, about be aware of my surroundings. But I did have one time with Braylon where I got distracted. The car was running, but still, it's not acceptable. And but I remember I was like, "Where's Braylon?" And then it was like 5 minutes later, and I was like, "Oh yeah, she's Bridget. I'm sorry," but this was months and months ago. In fact, it was before we even moved to Huntsville, before we left for Fargo, and I learned, man, I'm not gonna bash on a parent for something like that. No parent in their right mind is going to intentionally leave their child in a car. But you're so right, Kay. Be aware of that. And because of that instance, and like I said, the car was running, the doors were locked because I have a way to lock, but it's still not acceptable. And I don't want to ever do that again. But it happens. And so be aware of that. No child deserves to lose their life being left in a vehicle, especially here in Texas in the hot heat that we have.
It's a horrible, horrible death. And this little boy tried to get out of his seat and couldn't. There were signs that he tried to get out.
That's tough, Kay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, though. The
now,
wisdom.
what do you do to make sure you don't do that again? Do you put something in the back seat?
Yeah, and we have a reverse mirror too. So I'm always aware of what's back there, but I always have their bags and all their stuff back there. And I always know that I need to get the kids' bags because there's bottles and milk and all that kind of stuff. So I'm always have stuff in the back of my seat that I know that I need. So, well, let's head over to our 0 Degree Creations phone and text line. We got a winner today, $20. Making them holla. Holla to playa. I think I'm going to use that on this call.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, player? How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Mr.
Who is this? Oh, it's Kathy. Kathy, what's up? It's Kathy Schweitzer. I was like, wait a minute.
Hey, what's yours, Maggie?
I just wanted to say, what's up, player? You know, I haven't said that in a while. That word is kind of mishy, but it's not a bad word. It's like a good friend. Like, hey, what's up, player? You ever use that word?
No.
Have you ever called anybody that, Kathy? Like, what's up, player?
Yeah, every now and then.
You cruise through McDonald's, you go to, H-E-B, you get your groceries. Hey, thanks, player. Appreciate you.
Yeah, they're like, okay, sure.
Kay's over here looking. She's like kind of staring like, Rob, what are you talking about? Well, Kathy, how you doing? Great to see you. Thank you for coming by the way, to our hey, I believe y'all, we still have everything. I think y'all were one of the hourly raffle winners for Rays of Hope. We've got that list out, but I will confirm. But I think you were one of the hourly raffle winners, by the way, too.
I think she was too.
Awesome. I've got Matt in the car, so he's chiming in when he can.
Oh, hey, Matt. What's up, buddy? That's my buddy.
Did she and Matt Whitman?
Hey, how you doing?
We're good, buddy. How you doing, Matthew?
Doing great. I got to work for Taco Cabana.
Oh, come on, congrats. He got a job at Taco Cabana. Is that what I heard?
He's working through the WorkSource Commission, or the WorkSource,
Awesome.
and they have him at Taco Cabana for 6 weeks. So I think he's on week 3.
Awesome.
But he's doing pretty well. So, yeah, he's working the morning shift and learning from his job coach. So we're just hoping for some independence and, new skills and things like that.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Matthew. That's so great. Well, Kathy, $20, you're the winner today, and just text us with your Venmo or Cash App, and we can send that to you, all right?
That's Mom. Way to go, Mom.
You know I'm not fancy like that.
Yeah.
So how about I will let you donate it to one of your favorite charities.
All
How's
right.
that?
Well, I'll do it.
Yeah,
I'll do it to
that's right.
I'll do it to Tomorrow's Promise and the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library today.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Kay's got a question for you real quick, Kathy.
What are you thankful for today?
What am I thankful for today? I am just thankful for all the blessings that God gives me, especially this community and just the friends and the places, the people, the churches, the schools, just everything. God has just puts an amazing village in Huntsville, and we're blessed to be a part of it.
Awesome. Well, good word there from our friend Kathy Schweitzer, longtime listener, frequent winner here on Good Morning Huntsville. So we're gonna.
I know.
We're gonna.
Hey, you guys see my dude.
And we got and what a treat today too to have our buddy Matthew there as well. So appreciate you so much.
All right, we got money.
All right, y'all have a great day.
Have a blessed day. Bye bye.
You too. Bye.
I love Matthew in the background going, money, money, money. Well, friends, thanks for being here with us. We'll be back at it tomorrow as, what is tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow's Jason Bay. Pastor Bay will be with me tomorrow on Thankful Thursday, so we're excited to be back tomorrow. Kay, Rick, any closing remarks today? Been a fun one today.
I have no remarks.
No remarks. All right. Just keep them at a minimum.
That's right.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up. Thank y'all so much for being here today.
Thank you for letting us come.
You bet. Well, Huntsville, we love you. We appreciate you. Again, more information, unleashyouриmagination.org to be involved in all these great events coming up in September to help support Tomorrow's Promise and the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library as we continue for literacy excellence here in Walker County. That's all thanks to Kaye and the vision that she has. That'll wrap it up. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 as I end every show, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We do need each other, so please provide a word of encouragement, lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. And Kaye, how about it? We got started a little on time today.
I'm very proud of you, Rob.
All right, we'll see you, Huntsville. Have a blessed day. Rick, Kaye, thank y'all. See you.
Bye. In the night, I feel so low. Darkest days, they come and go. But your love, it always shows. Jesus, you're my heart's glow. When the world is caving in, lost in shadows, feeling thin, your light breaks through every sin.